Yeah, 5G is cool and all, but I know you only care about how good the next iPhone camera is. Let's get into it. Steve Jobs once said, people don't know what they want till you show it to them. And he's partially right. I mean, everybody wanted a cheaper iPhone, but when they made the iPhone SE, did you buy one? I don't think so. Apple always wanted to give everybody what they thought was the best, and we all bought into it. Why? Because we're suckers. No, because iPhone is amazing, and that's no different with this year's iPhone 12. The iPhone 12 Pro Max is a beast. It's literally the biggest phone Apple's ever made and has the best camera features on an iPhone. But if big phones aren't your thing, every phone all the way down to the iPhone mini is an amazing iPhone, and you can't be mad at that. So with this event, we got the iPhone 12 mini, iPhone 12, iPhone 12 Pro, iPhone 12 Pro Max. And normally when a company has phones from $699 to $1099, the lower end normally has a lot less features. That's not the case with this year. All the iPhones this year are pretty amazing. I mean, they all have the same access to 5G, the same A14 processor, they have the same front camera, the same thickness, they have the same night mode on all cameras. I mean, Apple really wants to upgrade this year. Now the Pro models do have some Pro features, but across the board, every iPhone is amazing this year, and you can't go wrong picking any one of them. Let's get into the feature list of the iPhone 12 mini. So the iPhone 12 mini is 11% thinner, 15% smaller, and 16% lighter. And the design on all the iPhones across the board is flat on all sides like the iPhone 4. But what about the cameras? The wide-angle lens now brings in 27% more light than last year, so your low-light photography is going to be even better. There's night mode on the ultra-wide, the wide, and the selfie camera, so you can have no excuse not to pick up your FaceTime calls. You know who you are. The cameras this year also come with deep fusion, and what that means is Apple basically takes a bunch of photos when you press the shutter button and then merges them all into one, so you get the best possible photo that you could have taken at any given time. The iPhone 12 mini and the iPhone 12 can also shoot and edit 4K HDR video with Dolby Vision. Hats off to you, let alone edit the video. That's crazy. So now we have the iPhone 12 Pro and the iPhone 12 Pro Max, and this is all about the cameras, my friend. The new wide-angle lens is now at f1.6, so you'll have a whole nother stop of light coming in, and there's a 7-piece element lens for increased clarity. Lastly, on the lens side, the telephoto lens gets a little bit different between the iPhone 12 Pro and the iPhone 12 Pro Max. The iPhone 12 Pro gets a 52mm lens, the same one as last year, but it gains a 4x optical zoom. The iPhone 12 Pro Max gets a 65mm lens and has a 5x optical zoom, so you already know the portrait mode in that is going to be fire. That's not all though. The iPhone 12 Pro Max gets a 47% bigger sensor, so low light is going to be miles better than last year. And I want to reiterate, that's miles better than last year. With that 47% bigger sensor, they had to find a new way to stabilize it, and they did with the sensor shift optical image stabilization. So basically when you're walking or you're just moving, your hand shaking, the sensor itself is actually moving to counteract your movement. So that's really found in like high-end Sony cameras or high-end Canon cameras, but it actually coming to an iPhone is, well, that's pretty cool. This one was actually a shocker. Apple introduced the Apple Pro RAW image format, and if you don't know anything about editing RAW images, it is a game changer for photography. You can edit anything from white balance to contrast to clarity to whatever you want. If you don't know anything about taking pictures, this is big for photography. So you know about night mode and you know about portrait mode. On iPhone 12 Pro and iPhone 12 Pro Max, there's night portrait mode thanks to the LiDAR sensor. So you might be asking, what is LiDAR? It's basically a system of hundreds of lasers shooting off to make a 3D map of anywhere you are. So they're using drones, they're using self-driving cars, and now they're using the iPhone. Basically, low-light autofocus is going to be a thing of the past. You know when you're out late and you try to take a picture and there's like a long awkward flash and then there's another flash, which is the actual picture? Yeah, no more of that. Basically, LiDAR can see in the dark, set your autofocus, and take the picture. Simple as that. And lastly, since LiDAR is like a radar, your augmented reality is going to be so much better. And I know people don't really care about augmented reality or 3D effects or anything like that, but you do care about Snapchat filters, so you do care. Basically on the back camera, any effect or any kind of 3D object needed to put into place is going to be so much more accurate now that there's a 3D map of the room. Walking around the object and just interacting with the object is going to be so much more accurate and so much more lifelike. Enough about the pictures, let's talk about the video. The iPhone 12 Pro and the iPhone 12 Pro Max are the first phones to be able to shoot 10-bit video at 4K and HDR in Dolby Vision. I don't think you heard me. 10-bit video in 4K and HDR in Dolby Vision. The $4,000 camera I'm shooting this on right now doesn't shoot 10-bit video. That's how impressive that is. Finally, to wrap it up, here are some differences between the iPhone 12 mini and the iPhone 12 Pro Max. On this list, there's basically bold features that are main differences, and then the italicized ones are kind of like nice to haves. There's a 6.7-inch display on the iPhone 12 Pro Max and a 5.4-inch in the iPhone Mini. There's a larger sensor, there's a telephoto lens, there's 10-bit HDR at 4K. And the biggest difference I would say between the iPhone 12 Pro Max and the iPhone 12 Mini is obviously the camera, but there's a 33% better battery life from the iPhone 12 Pro Max based on how big the phone is, so you can have a bigger battery inside. Whether you buy an iPhone 12 Mini or the iPhone 12 Pro Max, you literally can't make a bad decision buying an iPhone this year. Whether you want the best camera, the best features, the biggest phone you can get, or a really, really powerful, small, miniaturized phone, every phone Apple makes this year is worth the upgrade. If you're wondering what iPhone I'm buying, I'm going with the iPhone 12 Pro Max, and the reason is simple. As a photographer, the iPhone isn't my best camera, but it is a camera I have with me at all times, so any updates Apple makes is greatly welcomed. If this video helped, subscribe below. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next one.